Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I got mine. Speaking of coffee, listen, to the person who sent me 3 different bags of this brand coffee, the Boca Lava, I still don't know who you are. Step forward so that I can thank you properly for this delicious coffee. So we have finally finished the Jamaican coffee, and now we are on the Ethiopian coffee, and it's pretty good, I must say. So I just wanted to say thank you. You know, I threw away the information clearing off my desk one day, cleaning it off, and I don't have it anymore. So I just want to know who you are so I can say thank you properly. Anyway, I just came back outside from putting out fresh Pop-Tarts and honey buns and juice for the kids. I started a new case of juice. I thought I bought 3 cases of kiwi strawberry juice, ruby red grapefruit. I was like, these kids aren't going to drink this. I put it out there the first time yesterday. They're drinking it. I didn't think they would drink it. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with 3 whole cases of this shit? But they're drinking it, you know. And I got it nice and cold and slushy. My husband thinks that I do a little too much, making sure that I put the night before, you know, I put the juice in the freezer so that it has a nice little, you know, consistency for them and that it's cold. And, you know, and he's like, you know, I think he feels like I do a little too much there. But who wants to drink cold juice in the morning in South Carolina? Wouldn't you want to get your day started with some cold juice, fresh, refreshing juice? Yeah, that's not doing too much. I used to do it in the afternoons too, like right before the school bus will come out, you know, like right after, well, in the morning, right after I did it for the morning, I would put in more juice in my freezer so that it would be cold for the afternoon. I don't do that anymore. But I do still do it in the mornings because what the hey, you know? It's not too much and I don't mind. But anyway, speaking of the library pantry, I want to say thank you so much to Claudette. Girl, thank you so much. You believe in those black ballerinas. The boxes should be here tomorrow, the jewelry boxes. And like I said, they got the black ballerina on it, and they're supposed to play Swan Lake. I don't know if it was those or the other ones that I didn't get, but they've got the black ballerinas on them. I hope they're not too small. And I thought that people thought that I would be doing a little too much with those ballerinas and those jewelry boxes. But listen, in the library pantry, I like to either put either something that is educational in there for them or something that is an activity, something that'll keep them busy. And so the jewelry makers, I thought that, you know, they loved those jewelry makers. Those went over really well with the girls. So I wanted to make sure that they had like little jewelry boxes in there, you know, the ones that kind of come every day or every other day. And you all really believed in that mission. So I wanted to say thank you for thinking that, feeling like I wasn't being extra, you know. Stephanie, thank you so much for supporting us, sister. I read your message. Thank you, girl. And to Annette, thank you, sister. And to Tiffany, thank you, baby. And to my Vera, thank you, boo-boo. Thank you, ladies, for being so supportive of my efforts. Thank you. Just thank you. You know, just thank you. You're amazing. But as soon as the jewelry boxes show, because as soon as they turn up, I'll show them to you because I'm very anxious to see them. I hope that they're not too small. You know, they don't look like they're really big, but you know, sometimes those pictures can be misleading. But as long as it's something really cute that they can put in the jewelry that they made, because I heard them discussing the jewelry makers that they took while they were in the process of taking something else the other day. And they were talking about those jewelry makers, and those went over really well. I didn't think that they would. I just wanted to make sure that the girls had things in there too, because it's so easy for boys, you know, basketball, soccer, you know what I'm saying, baseball bats, those kinds of things. It's so easy. But for the girls, you know, it's like buying clothes for boys are so easy, but buying clothes is so hard for the girls. And so I just wanted to make sure that the girls had something in there that they could look forward to too. And you know, and that's holding true because we're getting more young ladies coming to the library pantry. Anyway, enough of that. Y'all don't care about that. But listen, let me tell you, again, with another warning, I hate having to be so alarmist You know what I'm saying? But between the playground Karen, they raised over $500,000 for this racist. And that just, I mean, on the one hand, your mind is kind of blown by that. But then on the other hand, when you're black and you have been living in America for your whole life, you're like, you know that this is what America is. But when America shows it to you so blatantly and people are just so happy, and that's where we're going back to, you know, the racists and the hate mongers, they are crawling out from up under the rocks and caverns and caves that, you know, they were shoved into for a minute once upon a time when they weren't so proud to be so outspoken. We had a brief moment of that in American history where we would shame racists, and racists would be, kind of shamed. You know, they would watch what they say and watch what they do. But they're taking us back to a point where they are now openly proud to be angry, hateful human beings, you know, if you can call them human beings. Racism really is a sickness, a condition of the mind. It's a sickness. Have you all heard about what happened to Kobe Mason? Kobe Mason, if you don't know, she's a student getting ready to graduate with honors in about 2 weeks. And she and another young black lady were assaulted on. Now, we're not sure whether it was on the campus of Arizona State University. I'm sorry, the University of Arizona. Or if it was off grounds. We're not really sure. I'm not sure on that, clear on that. But a crowd of about 10 white people and Hispanic people physically assaulted them, jumped them, and bad. She was beaten very badly. And they were going through a part that was a tunnel, and they ran into this crowd of racist people. And they began with the racial taunts, calling them the N-word. And when they finally got so tired of being called that and started verbally attacking them back, a confrontation ensued. And the two sisters was handling those females. Well, the guys in the crowd held the females down, made sure that they couldn't get up and defend themselves, and they were violently beaten as a result of that. And I'm seeing so many instances pick up where black people are just minding their businesses, trying to get home, and white people making it their business to question them about whether or not they live there or belong there. We're seeing so much of that pick up. And you know what else we're seeing a lot of? Well, I'm seeing a lot of is violent encounters, where vehicles are concerned. And I can definitely see that because I myself have experienced multiple, since right before Trump was sworn in, I myself, white people trying to start an altercation with me, vehicle to vehicle. And I'm not saying, just the thoughtless, running red lights, stop signs, that kind of thing. I mean, looking over, seeing that I am a black woman alone in the car, and then trying to start a confrontation using the vehicles. I have had white people try to engage me like that. I have. Never when my husband is in the car with me. It's always when I am on my way to go get him, when I am alone, or when I am coming back from dropping him off. And it's usually white men that are doing that. So to see altercations where white men are harassing black women on the street, that's definitely happening because I've had several encounters. But me, what they don't understand about me is, one, I'm strapped. And two, I don't give a damn. And three, I am the person, I'm not going to get out of my car and argue with you. I'm not going to talk to you about shit. I'm just going to hit 911 and I'm going to remain in the car until the police show up. I'm not talking to you about anything, especially if I see that you're irate, because I know that I'm armed. I'm not going to give you an opportunity to escalate that when I don't have to, when I can just stay in the car and shut the fuck up and wait for the police. There are cameras in my car. It's going to show what you did. So I don't have to do that, you know. It's one of the reasons why I now wear a body cam, because these incidents are picking up. They are. And we have to be really, really careful. I told you, who do you think that they are building these super prisons for? Right now, they're sending people over to, what is it, Venezuela, El Salvador? But they're building those types of prisons here in America. If you're paying attention, those El Salvadoran prisons, they're building them here in certain parts of America. And who do you think that they are going to fill those prisons up with? It will be black people. If you think that they are coming for us, you're wrong. They didn't already came for us. Like I said in yesterday's video, they have. We are already here. We're here. You know, there is a prison in Cummings prison in Arizona, where as recently as yesterday, there were incarcerated black people picking cotton in the fields like slaves, because they are slaves. That's how they got around that 13th Amendment, while you have white men on horseback in uniforms carrying shotguns. Modern day slavery. Fun fact, did you know that Arizona is one of those states in the United States that without prison labor, without free prison slave labor, the entire economic structure of the state would collapse? Listen to me say that again, because I know that's not going to register for some of y'all. Listen to it again. If it wasn't for free slave labor via the prison system, the state will go broke. For-profit prisons, for this reason alone, because that's where your next logical thought should go to, shouldn't exist for that reason alone. Because it is slavery. And slavery shouldn't be allowed to be profitable. Not in the United States of America, not anywhere, but especially not here in the United States of America, when we know how this country built its wealth. Now your next logical thought should go to, well, if that's true, what are they willing to stay? What are they willing to do in order to stay soluble? Are they willing to put cases on people that don't deserve cases? Are they willing to extend their time? Are they willing to give them more years than they should? We should be thinking about these things. And we really should be doing something about prison reform. But we're definitely not going to be able to do shit about it now. Not with the Trump administration in there. We would have been able to do something in there. Do something about it with Harris in there. We had a shot at it. But not with the Trump administration and what they have in store for black bodies. These are things that should concern us. If we want to boycott something, that's what we need to be boycotting. Crime. Because it's going to get worse, sir. Trust me. Even states as liberal as California are heavily reliant on the free labor of incarcerated people. And that should never be here in America. And then the fact that they can profit off of it, who gets to profit? Congressmen, people who make those laws. gun manufacturers, attorneys, prosecutors, judges, cops, district attorneys. Even public defenders can. Then think about the shareholders and the way they put pressure on making money, which means those beds have to be filled. What are they willing to do to fill those beds and to remain profitable? Scary stuff. Everyone is saying that America is turning into this dystopian society. Baby doll, we already here. We already here. We already here. That's all that I have for today. I want to thank those of you all who supported yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate you. Just want to say that again. And in the meantime, in between time, if you would like to support the platform, buy me a cup of coffee, support the library pantry, I would definitely appreciate it. Think on what I said today. Watch yourself. Keep your head on a swivel. I know that it is not realistic for us women to not have to go anywhere alone, but if you don't have to, don't. Whenever you have the opportunity to go with someone or someone come with you, do so. There is safety in numbers. Do not engage these people. Do not allow yourself to be questioned like a child. You are not a child. Do not escalate the situation. Do not let them take your freedom or your life from you, because we are in scary times, shockingly scary times here in America. And I just want y'all to be safe because I love y'all for real. Have a good day.